Hey guys, Lencac here. I'm at it again. Of course, there's the valley. It's first thing in the morning. Pretty crispy out. And there is the mighty 17-second Crown Vic, as usual, assuming the position. And of course, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to put some holes into that target right there. And nothing else. I got my money's worth out of that paper target, huh? But I got to run down range here in a minute and set that up. And as you can probably imagine, which we're all becoming very familiar with, is I'm going to just call this the stubborn patient. As you saw in my previous video, I pretty much dismantled this whole thing, went over everything on it that I thought I needed to look at, that sort of thing. And here's my thought on this, guys. And you tell me what you think. I have a theory, which, if it proves true, you'll have to draw your own conclusions on it. And so this is my theory on this thing. You know, I was thinking about this. I slept on it, and this is my thought. And it actually has to do with the scope mount. Okay, because as you saw before, when I would shoot it some and it would start to get warmed up, the rounds would string down. And it actually seemed like after it got warmed up pretty good that it would actually stabilize itself and find a home. So I was thinking something was going on, but as you saw, I took this whole thing apart. I went through it. I scrutinized everything, and I've done enough of these K31s that I'm confident right now that this thing should shoot. It should shoot. I've done enough K31s, and I've put them together. You've seen a number of my resto videos on these things. I've completely dismantled them and put them back together, and they shoot absolutely perfect. So I don't think I'm a novice at understanding how these things are supposed to work. This is my theory, though. If you look at this scope mount, you have an attachment point here, which is basically probably right about where the beginning of the rifling starts in the barrel. And then it clamps down against the receiver here, and you have a set screw here that goes on. There's an insert. You remove the combat sight out of this thing, pull the spring out, and there's an insert that goes in and slides in where the combat sight goes and latches under the back of the rear sight base. And then you put a screw in it, and you tighten that screw down, and it pulls that whole mount tight down to the receiver. The theory I come to think about was this: is that when you tighten that whole thing down, that thing is taking and it is putting a hell of a lot of pressure right here. It's pulling this part. It's trying to pull this part of the barrel up against this and this spot here. Do you follow me? So it's kind of like this, you see, and there's a lot of tension there because you got to crank down on that thing to make sure everything stays tight. And so I'm wondering if, because of that tension right there, even though it is at the back of the barrel, which is obviously the strongest part of the barrel, but if you look at these barrels without this sight base on it, it's not like it's a bull barrel, and really it gets pretty much like this thin pretty quickly. And so I could see where this tension here could actually affect the dynamic, the tension on that there. And so I could see in my mind, I'm thinking that when this thing starts to warm up, because of that tension that's put on that it could change the architecture of the barrel, so to speak, in relation to when it's cold. But at any rate, that's my thought, guys, about this. And if that's the case, if that is actually what's happening, then at least on a K31, this bad ace mount may not be usable. I hate to say that, but it might not, if that's what's actually happening. If that is what's happening, this thing, in spite of the work I did on it the other day, taking it apart, it'll end up still being the same. It'll still end up being the same, where when it starts to get hot, it's going to string rounds down. And so that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to give it a try, and we're going to see how this thing pans out today. So I got to run down range, put my target down range on my camera, and see if we can't get to doing some shooting here. All right, guys, and because I'm crazy this way, I've got my Fluke thermometer set up, and I've got the probe stuck underneath it. Actually, in the front here, I can actually stick it in underneath the mount. I'm just out of curiosity, as I shoot this thing, I just kind of see how that temperature changes, right? So at any rate, that's something I want to keep an eye on while I'm shooting. But I got to run down range, turn my camera on. All right, guys. I think we're in business right now, which is ambient temperature 56 degrees. Okay? And I've loaded up yesterday. I loaded up 50 175 grain Nosler RDF rounds. Reloader 17, 46 grains of it. CCI Magnum primers. And these are seated to 2-inch 280 from the base to the ogive. So let's try, and I try to do as good a bore sight as I can do on this. Would help if I put the magazine in. Try to do as good a bore sight on this thing as I can, because I want to see if I can't get it get it into the shoot and see, black shoot and see, as soon as possible, so I don't have to mess around with that and try to figure out the other stuff too. So at any rate, let's put this on. This might help. And I am going to shoot, first shot I'm going to shoot right at the center of the black shoot and see. Alright, here we go. Wish me luck. Alright, I saw that one. It looks like it's, I don't know, just about 3 o'clock, maybe 1.5 inches or so from the bullseye. I'm going to give it some, elevation looks to be good. I'm just going to, right out of the gate, I'm going to give it some clickage to the left. Let me walk it over. Alright, I gave it 8 clicks to the left, and no appreciable temperature change yet that I can see. Alright, so I'm hoping that this round should be reasonably close to our bullseye. We'll see. This is, I cleaned it, the rifle's completely cleaned. It's cold, obviously. All right, let's take a look. I think that's a good shot, though. All right, windage is perfect. Top of the 10 ring. And we are now up to 62 degrees and climbing a little bit. Yep. All right, starting to show some indication of temperature now. From here, that looks like that is 11 o'clock, just off of the orange bullseye. Ten, 11 o'clock, just almost touching the orange bullseye. I'm going to give it 1 click back to the right. And how's our temperature looking? We are showing 66.4 degrees. I got this on the bench here because this concrete bench is cold right now. All right, I think that one is right up next to my second shot. Take a look. Yep, it's just right of my second shot that was at the top of the 12 o'clock in the 10 ring. Where's our temperature going to now? We're at 69. We'll probably go to 70 degrees here. Yep. She's up to 70 degrees now. I think I was touching the bullseye. Let's take a look. All right, guys. So far, so good, I guess, right? And this scope has a very fine crosshair, and the very center of the crosshair is open. And I'm shooting against that black shoot and see. So, in reality, I can get a better sight picture if I'm shooting at the red dots off on the white paper. But for right now, it's okay. Let's take a look. All right, guys, you saw. That's right in there. That's 6 rounds. And we have 74. It's going to go up to 75 degrees here, I'm sure. I would think that this is probably the hottest spot in the barrel. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's the way I would think that works. To be honest with you, I kind of thought I was going to start stringing them again, but so far maybe not. Let's take a look. So far, guys, it's pretty much right there. I'd say it's within the margin of error of my shooting ability. But it hasn't demonstrated what it has done previously. So, and I'm looking to see here if my, because I do have a brass shim underneath this mount. I'm trying to see if it's wanting to work its way out, which it seemed like it wanted to do the last time I had it in there. Let's take a look. Going up to, looks like 78, between 78.5 degrees, so it's gone up a bit. That one went a little bit high, which is completely opposite of what it was doing before. But then again, this has a mil spec trigger on it, and at that, it's a little bit of a heavy mil spec trigger. I would give this trigger, of course, usually the first stage on these is about 36 ounces, and depending on the trigger spring, they'll break 70 to 80 to 85 ounce. This one feels like it's probably on the 85 ounce side. That's 9. I think that one is on the 9-10 ring line, about 2 o'clock. Of course, I gave it a couple clicks to the left again. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of fiddle farting with that. Guys, I'll have to watch the video because I only really see 9 holes, so it must have gone through one of my other holes there, but nevertheless it's encouraging because it's not stringing the rounds. I mean, granted, it ain't the greatest group in the world, but they're all kind of a group still. I'm gonna go down range, clean up my target, and let it cool down a little bit. See how it goes. Shoot another string. All right. Okay, guys. As you just saw, that was 10 round, 10-shot string I just shot there. And of course, this was my first shot off of a manual bore sight. And then I did a adjustment on the scope, and that was my second shot, so it came over. And then it kind of went around here. I think that was my last shot. I think I almost holed that round right there. I couldn't tell from back at that end from the spotting scope. But at any rate, I would say at this point, it does not look like it's stringing rounds, is it? So, I don't know. Maybe I am making progress in spite of myself, huh? All right, guys, I'm going to clean this target up and go do another string. All right, guys, looks like it's cooled down pretty good. I think ambient temperature, I'm showing 63 degrees. That should be pretty close to ambient temperature. So it's cooled pretty much down to cooled down to ambient temperature again. And I think at this point, in light of the results I had with my hand-loaded ammunition, I think it would only be appropriate to run a string of GP11 through this thing. So I am going to take and load up. Might as well use a box of my GP11. I kind of, at this point in time, because it's been hard to come by and it's getting expensive, I kind of really am getting stingy about using my GP11 ammo. All right, I think for this I'm going to shoot at the 2 red dots on the right side. Hopefully it'll be good enough to make that work. So let's give it a try now. We've gone completely cool again on the rifle. Let's take a look. See where that one went. All right, that first shot is pretty much right in there, same relative location as where my hand-loaded ammunition went so far, but that's just one shot. Let's take a look. Temperature's starting to creep up again. went a little bit left. Basically same elevation though. So, like I say, if this thing doesn't string rounds down like it was before, I'm going to take this as a victory. Alright, those last two were pretty much right there. You know, I have a feeling, my experience has been, is when I go from hand-loaded ammunition to GP11, it takes a few shots for it to kind of change its, you know, to get used to the different round. Not a great group, but it's not stringing them either. I'm going to give it a couple of clicks to the right. See if I can get it more in line with the two red dots. I'm going to hit one of them red dots yet, hopefully. Yeah, what do you know? I just hit one of them red dots. All right, let's take a look. 79, 80 degrees. It would look like that was a little bit high, a little bit right. All right, I'll have to watch the sequence, but I think that's pretty much right in there. I mean, we're not talking tight groups here, but it's not stringing the rounds now, so now maybe I'm seeing more of the rifle itself as far as its extensive shooting. So maybe it's been shot enough where the groups are not going to be that tight. Maybe the barrel is getting worn to that point. I still wouldn't stand in front of it though. All right, that one is virtually exactly where I had it pointed at. All right, one more for this 10-shot string. Yeah, temperature's getting up there. It's going over 88 degrees. I am going to transition right now. I'm going to shoot a 5-shot string with the hand-loaded ammunition and just kind of see. The rifle is good and fouled by now. Obviously it's getting warmed up. And so Let's give it a shot. We are almost 90 degrees now. I'm going to go for the, I'm going to shoot at the center of the black shoot and see. I'm going to correct the windage back a little bit from where these shot before. And we'll see if we can't move it back, because it looks like, you know, oops, looks like the GP11 and this hand load got a little bit different spot of impact. Well, that is an absolute perfect dead nuts bullseye. Huh. Old, the stubborn patient is being a little bit cooperative today, at least. I like that. That's just about on top of my last shot. Feels like I might have pulled that one a little bit to the left. If I did, it wasn't by much. That's a pretty nice 3-shot little clover leaf there. We're 97 over 97 degrees. Go figure, guys. The first shot now with the hand-loaded ammunition, obviously it went, I don't know, ½ inch or so to the right. Put 2 clicks of windage in it to the left. Last 4 shots are probably a half a MOA. Alright guys, this is about a 180 degree turnaround. This was 10 shots over here with the GP11, and it wanted to go a little bit left on me. I made an adjustment, it came over. I guess with that one being a little bit of a flyer, that's my group with the GP11, nothing to write home about. And then I just, while the gun was still hot and going, I put 5 of my hand loads in it, and that was the first shot. I did a 2-click adjustment to windage to the left, and then there's 4 rounds right there. Is that not a complete 180 degree turnaround of what we've been seeing here on that thing lately? Unbelievable. Anyways guys, I'm going to take today as a victory at this point. I gotta leave though, gotta go get my hair cut. Very interesting. I can see I left enough of the brass shim out of the back side of the mount to look so I could see it. Looks like it's staying put too. Wow. What's our temp? We're heading towards 100 degrees. Guys, I think at this point, I think that's a good place to draw this video to a conclusion. The stubborn patient maybe saw the light. Maybe Dr. Lencac's prescription worked. But, those last 4 shots are right on top of each other. Alright guys, I'm going to have to go home and give this some thought about stuff. Obviously my little theory about the pressure and the tension of the mount being placed on the barrel and stuff maybe isn't so true. Then again, maybe it took a little while for it to get hot enough for it to start shooting those groups. But at the same time, it obviously is not doing the ridiculous stringing of the rounds down like it was before. So maybe I found the right combination finally. So, all right, guys, you make of it what you want, guys. But all things considered, I think this is my best range test yet with this thing. All right, Lencac over and out.